is 2x minus 3 plus 7x. It's equal to 2 parentheses 4x squared minus 29. So I will just go ahead and distribute the 5x inside of the first parentheses. I will get 10x squared. 5x times that is minus 15x plus 7x equals to, distribute the 2 inside here and here. I will get 8x squared. I will have minus 58. I want to bring all this to the left hand side. I have the 8x here, let me minus 8x squared right here. So 8x squared, so like this, minus 8x squared. Okay? With that said, this becomes 2x squared, and then we will also need to add the 58 on both sides. So then plus 58 here, cancel, and since I don't have numbers here, I don't have a term that's just a number, so that will just put a 58 like at the end. Notice that negative 15x and 7x becomes negative 8x, and then also have the number by itself, right? The plus 58. That equals to the right hand side is now equal to 0. So now we can go ahead and use the quadratic formula because it's in the standard form. However, I noticed that I have 2, 8, and 58. They are all even numbers. So therefore, I can actually divide everything by 2. And 2 is actually a number I can divide into all of them. And I can reduce the question to a smaller question. Okay? To a question that's a smaller number. So I will get 2x squared divided by 2. We just have x squared and minus 4x plus 29. It's equal to 0. Now, there's nothing else that we can simplify, and then we have the equation in the standard form. Let me just use the quadratic formula. So a is the number in front of the x squared, which is technically a positive 1. So a is equal to 1. B is equal to negative 4, and c is equal to 29. So by the quadratic formula, we know x is equal to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, everything over 2a, like this. Then I just need to plug in the numbers. Okay, I see a negative, I see a b, open the parentheses, I'll plug in negative 4 in the parentheses. I will have plus minus square root after b, open the parentheses, put in the negative 4, and that's raised to the second power, minus 4 times a, so open the parentheses, a is equal to 1, and c, I will just open the parentheses, c is equal to 29. Everything on the top over 2 times 1. Okay? So this is the setup. Now, continue with this. I have negative 4, so it actually ends up to be a positive 4. And then I have plus minus square root of some number inside, and the number I will just do it on the side. Look at the inside only. I have negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 29. Okay? So to do this, you can do it by hand or the calculator. With a calculator, doesn't really matter, but I'll show you guys how to do this by hand, so we can practice the order of operation. This here is 16, and then for this part, 4 times 1 is 4, and then 4 times that is 116. 116, and then I'll have the minus here. 16 minus 116 is negative 100. Okay. So I have negative 100. This number will go inside of the square root. But then I want to emphasize a negative number inside of the square root. Okay, so I'll put in negative 100 in here over 2. Then this is it for the quadratic formula part. Now the rest is just how to simplify this square root especially, right? So I see that I have a square root of negative number, so let me do it right here. Square root of negative number, we should just take on I first, the imaginary number I. So square root of negative 100, I will just put an I, and then I will look at what square root of 100 is equal to. Well, square root of 100 is actually a very nice number. 10 times 10 is equal to 100, so square root of 100 is equal to 10. So we will have an I times 10, right? Square root of 100 is equal to 10. Of course, we should always write a number before any letters, so we can write it as 10 times I. So we have 10I here. So square root of negative 100 is just 10I. I is again the imaginary number. Okay. Then we go back to here. We will have 4 plus minus all this becomes 10I. So let me write this as 10I. 10I is the result of square root of negative 100. Both of this over 2. And to simplify this, as I like to do it, I like to break down into two fractions. The first one is 4 over 2 plus minus 10I over 2. So the denominator does not change. I'm just changing into like two fractions, separated into two fractions. Once we have two separate fractions, I can just look at this as 4 over 2, which is just 1, and this is 2. 4 over 2 is just 2, and then plus minus 10 over 2 is just 5 over 1, so it's 5I. So x is equal to 2 plus or minus 5I. Okay? And then I will also show you guys how to do this on the calculator. And let me use the A, B, and C right here. But before that, you need to make sure that you do all this like combining terms correctly, moving the terms correctly. So go to mode, number 5 for equation, number 3 for quadratic equation. A in our case is 1, B is negative 4, C is 29, and then C equal. First answer, we have x is equal to plus 2 plus 5i. That's exactly 2 plus 5i here. Go down, x2 is 2 minus 5i. And that's it, we're done. Mode, and then go to number 1. Turn it off. And I also did the same exact question with completing a square. So you can watch this video and then also check out the other video on how to solve this by completing a square.